We're starting with the Urban Debate 360 on our big story, the odd and even scheme for Mumbai. Now, the state wants citizens to decide whether the odd and even scheme will actually help Mumbai. Our sources in the government have confirmed that the BMC has postponed its decision for 3 months to invite suggestions and objections from citizens in the meantime. My colleague Disha Shah, who broke the news that the odd and even scheme was being considered in Mumbai at all, brings us this exclusive report.
Yes, that's right. Do not expect the odd-even scheme in Mumbai for another 3 months. This is what BMC officials told Magic Bricks. Now, in fact, the reason that they tell us is that they are still awaiting a final nod from the state government on the proposal that the civic body had sent in the first week of July this year. In fact, officials also told Magic Bricks now that this is for the first time that they are going to invite suggestions and objections from the citizens of Mumbai on the odd-even scheme in Mumbai as to whether to implement this scheme, as to whether this plan will be successful in Mumbai or not. These will be the suggestions and objections that citizens will have to send to the BMC, is what BMC officials told us. In fact, let's not forget that Magic Bricks now was the first one to get you those details as to where BMC is planning to implement the odd-even scheme in Mumbai. When we spoke to BMC officials, they told us as the timeline is not decided as to when they will start inviting suggestions and objections, but they told us that this will happen anytime within the next 3 months. So let's understand how this will work, or if this scheme gets implemented on ground. Firstly, this scheme will define on which particular day you can drive your car. For instance, on an even date, the license plates ending with an even number will be allowed on the streets, and on an odd date, the license plates ending with an odd number will be allowed on the streets. In fact, this will be applicable only on the private-owned 4 vehicles and not on the public transports like the auto rickshaws, the taxis, the buses, and also on the emergency vehicles like the PCR vans, the ambulances. This won't be applicable on such cases. In fact, this will be effective throughout the week from 8 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. in the night, and whoever violates this particular rule will be penalized with a hefty fine of 3,000 rupees. And lastly, officials also told us that women will be exempted from this particular scheme, and they can drive on any particular day as they can. So of course we will keep a very close eye on this particular development here at Magic Bricks now.
Well, we have 3 months then as citizens to give the government our opinion on whether or not we believe the odd and even scheme is what Mumbai needs. We decided to speak to some Mumbaikars who've been fighting bumper-to-bumper traffic through this monsoon. And it seems to be a divided view, really, on whether or not the odd and even scheme will actually solve Mumbai's problems. Listen in.
Something which was crucially required in the city where your Kali, Pilis and the autos are not ready to ply at any given point of time. They have all sort of excuses, and when especially in the peak hours when no mode of transports were available.
Looking at the traffic situation, I don't think so it's really going to help, because it's going to create a lot of problems, further problems for people, because it was implemented in Delhi. And I think it was not too successful in Delhi, because the final the guy who's on the road knows how difficult it is. Even if you are sharing a cab with someone, or even if you're taking your car out on an odd or even day, it's very difficult when you go for pooling, etc.
Odd even will not work here in Mumbai. No, you cannot just restrict the people. Rather than, I would feel the one should concentrate on or focused on road conditions, infrastructure facility, or local transport system. They should improve.
No, I'm not with it. I'm not with it. My views are absolutely against that.
Why that?
I don't know, because everybody would like to take their car to go every day to their work and areas, and if you're just streamlining Uber and Ola, then I think a lot of private cars would automatically go off. So why should we implement odd and even and again privatize on this? So I think it's better.
Depends actually, because the number of cars in Bombay are also extremely high, so it might just reduce the traffic in Bombay.
Well, Magic Bricks has been championing the odd and even formula to be implemented in Mumbai, especially during the monsoon. We look like we're going to miss the monsoon altogether. Now, Mumbai's civic body is inviting citizens to give in their suggestions on whether Mumbai will be able to implement the odd and even formula. I'm joined in the studio by Ashok Dattar, the chairman and founding trustee of the Mumbai Environmental Social Network. Mr. Dattar, thank you for joining me. But fundamentally, we're currently in a city that doesn't have the roads to accommodate the number of cars that we have bought and sold. The odd and even formula seems like the only way out for an immediate solution that can give us some relief, at least for what's going on the road. It seems like the only valid solution that's left for the government to use. Where do you stand?
I would not say it's the only solution, but it is a solution.
The only
definitely.
immediate overnight solution, and other than making everything one way, which is what Bangalore did.
Not that way.
Yes.
This is one of the what shall I say, the ultimate odd and even is the
Extreme measure?
solution of restraint.
Yes.
There are earlier restraint measures we are not even attending that. Like for example, today we want to widen the road. There is a very easy way to widen the road, which we are not doing like that. Widen the road means just remove the parking on both sides. That you have widened the road without any cost of any money at all.
Right.
I don't take the extreme of it, but if it's substantially reduced, it can solve the problem. If you can have bus lane, that can solve the problem. And also if you can have odd and even, that can solve the problem. Each of them is a partial solution, but together they will make a very good cocktail.
Tom,
in fact, one point
right.
I'll understand. The people who are all so-called answering, they're all motorists, So it is not quite right to, and motorists are only 10%. I would like you to consider remaining 80 or 90% of people, what do they think? Perhaps they may not be articulate, they may not be smart enough to answer the question, but they benefit. Delhi experiment has proved one thing, it may or might not have solved the problem of environment, but it certainly has reduced traffic jam considerably.
Yes.
So let us be very clear.
I think there are a couple of things that we have to keep in mind. One of which is the odd and even formula is not a permanent solution for the traffic. In the meantime, while the government works on its medium and its long-term solutions, which is road widening or which is public transport, so better trains so people leave their cars at home and take trains, better buses, these are not things that can be done overnight. In the meantime, if we just consider, and that list is running on our screen on what's exempt, fire tenders, ambulances, school buses, taxis and women who drive, which means that it's limited really to private cars who will be forced, in the very least, to carpool. They'll be forced to ask their friends, hey, listen, do you have an odd car? I have an even car. Yeah. Let's go together. That's one less car on the road, which is, in my opinion, an excellent thing. Ashok Dutt.
Absolutely correct. It is very easy to exaggerate all the negative things that people will have 2 cars, all kind of things. Yes, they will have. Some people will have cars.
Nobody's going to go out and buy another car overnight. The logical thing to do is to get on social networking and say, who else is, who's driving down this road?
Yeah. But we should prepare properly. We should restrict. Perhaps we should, this time we should do a really good thinking. We should do some mathematical traffic studies and then work out. I think it would be naive if we don't prepare properly with a study and analysis. We should take this subject quite seriously. We take this subject like coastal road very, very seriously. We have been discussing about it, and let me tell you one thing. We have raised some objections to coastal road. Government has not at all bothered. What they have done instead, they have raised a caveat so that our objectives can't be seriously taken. So I don't want the government should invite the suggestions and then ignore them. I think that would be greatly insulting. You must answer the objections seriously.
So if I were to ask you right now as a citizen of Mumbai, and you're very well placed to answer this question, what's your suggestion/objection to the odd and even plan that you've just heard our reporter call out on the screen for Mumbai?
Odd and even, I feel that it is possible to, I can't give exactly answer because I would like to study, but still I can give some contour. I feel that perhaps we might do in certain like peak hours only, it need not be throughout the day.
Right.
If we can do it between 9 to 12 southwards and 6 to 9 northwards.
In the other direction.
All Western Express Highway and 2 or 3 other parallel things to begin with, that might be a much better way because then we can control in terms of discipline management. It should be given very wide publicity. It should have enough force, like Delhi did a very good job to mobilize women and children, not just depending on the police,
Yes.
So it should do a lot of cameras, a lot of bus route planning and taxi sharing. So if you do on all the fronts, if you prepare properly, I think it will work very well.
All right. Do you think we should wait 3 months to get all of that done, or is this
Perhaps
something that should be done much faster?
3-4 months.
It might take more than 3 months.
3 months is not enough, perhaps.
Okay. All right,
Well,
Ashok.
it's better to succeed rather than fail.
All right. And of course, there are several things, like Ashok said, that we've learned from Delhi that can be picked up and implemented. Some of it might actually be valid here in Mumbai as well. And if Delhi can follow those rules, then definitely I'd assume that the people of Mumbai can sort of adapt and realize that this is something we're just going to have to do.
And Mumbai needs it more. Mumbai is geographically also north-south city, unlike Delhi. Delhi is a round city.
Right.
So it is better chance for success in Mumbai. Let us not be cynical.
Let's not be cynical. Better chance of success. On this channel as well, we agree that the odd and even formula is something that Mumbai absolutely needs. And between government and citizen, we're just going to have to work together to bring this about so that we're forced really to carpool and we're forced to reduce the number of cars on the road. Ashok Dattar, thank you so much for joining us.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at magicbricksnow. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.